The show is made possible in part by its supporting sponsors: Blue Water Power Group of Companies, Joe's Discount Tire, and AskGuy.ca. I feel like boxing came back into my life just all of a sudden. You know, we've been talking about it for a while, and we were just recently at an event that we'll talk about. But this young gentleman right here, I had to write it down because there's so much going on. Michael White, thank you so much for joining me.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
You got quite a resume going on here. You're the 22-23 Brampton Cup is on your belt, so to speak. 23 the Quebec Cup.
Yep.
And recently the provincials. 24. That was October, right?
Yep.
And you're currently ranked third in Canada.
Yeah.
How old are you?
Just turned 18.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like that's it right there.
Yeah.
When did you start boxing?
Well, I've been around it. So like Tim Taylor, River City. I was running around there when I was 5, but my dad held me off a little bit, and I had my first fight when I was 16. So about 2 years ago.
Wow.
A little over 2 years.
And just to not steal Michael's thunder, but we had Frank the Hammer White as your dad.
Yep.
Who did you know that you were going to do this because he was doing it, or did it just happen that way?
I was a hockey player for a while.
Yeah.
So, but I always knew I loved it. So I just had to get his permission. He was a little leery about me doing it.
He didn't like it, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's because he knows how hard people can hit, maybe.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. You, so I mean, obviously, dad in your corner, so to speak. Do you remember sort of like the first piece of it when he knew that he's doing it?
Yeah.
Did he give you a piece of advice?
You gotta go all in.
Yeah.
As soon as I was gonna have my first fight, I quit hockey and I had to put all my attention onto boxing because he said if you're gonna do it, it needs all your attention.
Yeah.
So, because it's tough sport, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess you can tell that, right?
Well, I watched you recently at an event out at the airport hangar.
Yep.
And you were the main event, right? Mm-hmm. Talk about that fight. That was a rematch, I believe, wasn't it? How did that come about again?
Well, we were supposed to face a guy I fought in nationals, but that fell through.
Right.
So we gave him a call, and he obviously wanted it. I had beat him before in his hometown. So I said, I'll give you the hometown. You come down, we'll have the rematch, and I got it done again. So
yeah, cool. Who was that?
His name's Keegan. He's from Championship City in St. Thomas.
Nice.
Yeah.
I watched the fight.
Yeah.
Good fight.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that was it a tough fight?
It was a tough fight. Yeah. He's not in the sense of getting hit a lot.
Right.
He didn't hit me a lot, but he's a tough guy. So I'm hitting him with shots that usually hurt guys, and he's just keeps coming forward, right?
Right.
So
which makes for
a really good
wouldn't
fight.
You prefer that rather than just knocking somebody out right away?
I fought guys in my first 10 fights. It's novice. So when you're under 10 fights, you fight guys with under 10 fights. Yeah. And when you're above fight, you can fight anyone. So my first 10 fights, I won 9 of them.
Wow.
So I fought a guy in Brampton Cup, 35 seconds. And that's not, I don't really like that very much. I rather the challenge and get in there. Like I really enjoyed my last fight.
It looks good on paper, but
it really does look good on paper. But
yeah. You really want to. And now, who's coached you along the way here?
Well, I started in Chatham, but with a guy named Floyd Porter. But my dad's always been the top guy, and now Tom's really looking after me, and I've let him take over. So
now, who's the lead on that, Tom or Dad?
I'd say Tom finds me the fights.
Yeah.
Tom finds me the fights, and he's always in the gym with me. But when it comes to training and stuff, I listen to my dad.
Yeah.
But Tom's a great manager and great trainer too.
Yeah. How hard is it, or is it hard, I guess, do you have to differentiate between coach and dad?
Yeah. We butt heads a lot in the gym because like giving me pointers and stuff, like when I'm training hard, I kind of get upset with them and stuff.
Sure.
But he's got a lot of knowledge, so I just got to listen to him. So I just got to get past that.
Yeah.
It's my dad, you know what I mean?
Right.
So we're always together, and then I'm up in the gym, and he's yelling at me about stuff, but he's just trying to help. That's all.
Isn't it cool though, Michael, that you, I mean, a lot of people like, their dad goes to work and the kid goes to school and then you see each other when you can, but like you guys work together too, right?
Yeah. I work with him in his business. So we're together all the time, basically. Yeah, it's awesome.
Is it cool? Right? Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's times
you
you're
get
like,
sick of each
go
other,
away.
But no, it's great. Yeah, we got a good relationship for sure.
Yeah. And talk about your dad's business again. What do you guys do?
He's basically an exterior painter.
Yep.
So airless painting on houses and barns and basically anything outside. You paint that. Yeah.
So I do. I think that's really cool that you're able to do that.
Yeah.
And, as much as you can get on each other's nerves, Frank. But there's a lot of great experiences being created there. I mean, outside of the boxing too, right? Just spending time together and learning and I guess growing together too.
And I'm learning a lot of the business, how to run a business. If that's something I want to do, I don't know, but just learning a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Back to the boxing. How far do you want to go with this? You talk about being all in.
All in. If I talk about my dream would be to win a world title as a pro.
Yeah.
So I know it's possible. I just gotta put the work in. You know what I mean? But I want to go all in, go the whole way.
Yeah.
Go the whole way. Yeah.
When you prepare for a fight, I've always wondered, and it's maybe a bit of a cliche question. I mean, obviously there's the physical aspect, which is a big part of it.
Yep.
I'm a real mindset guy. Is that a big part of?
100%.
Yeah. How much? Like I've heard it said that accomplishing something is 95% mindset, and 5% skill. Would you agree with that?
Yep, I do. And I say a lot of fighters lose the fight before they even get in the ring.
Yeah.
In their head.
Yeah.
So you can't doubt yourself. You got to have the right mindset.
Yeah.
Like if you go in there thinking, "Oh, I could lose this," then you're probably gonna lose.
You're probably gonna lose. Yeah. So what do you do? Do you I don't know? Do you read books? Are you spiritual? Like what's
spiritual?
The setup?
Yeah. I'm Christian, so I put a lot of faith in God, right? So that's my thing, 100%.
I noticed when you stepped into the ring recently, that was
sign of the cross.
Yeah, you paid tribute to that.
Yep,
right?
always before every one of my fights, I do that.
Yeah. But what about? I mean, outside of that, like philosophical, like books or videos or anything? Do you get into?
I don't read as many books as I should.
Yeah,
but I should start. Yeah. Motivational videos on if I'm training, I'll put something on the TV on YouTube.
Right.
Just something motivational. I rather that instead of music.
Yeah.
So that's what I do.
You don't replay the Rocky Balboa speech over and over?
Oh yeah, sometimes. On YouTube, put that on. Or the Rocky music too, just the soundtrack with no singing in it. Yeah.
Yeah. That speech become very well known, obviously. Do you agree with that? Is how hard you take it? Yeah, how keep getting back up, right?
Yep. It was a heavyweight world title fight on just last weekend, and it came to a close decision, but the guy got dropped, and he got up. He would have lost the fight right there. He didn't look like he should have got up, but he got up and he got the decision. So
yeah. I was watching. Well, I saw all those bouts recently that was put on by Realtors in the Ring, and wow, what a great turnout! Congratulations to everybody involved in that. I don't know that I think being a referee would be a tough job in there sometimes. Not just because of having to call things, and I'm sure
well, you're responsible, right?
Right.
For the well-being of the
safety.
Two fighters. Yeah. So I wouldn't want to be a judge or a referee. Yeah. Too much. You
do get booed. Yeah. There was a couple there.
There was
at the last one, right? But how does that play like? There has to be a respect for the referee, obviously.
You have to, yeah.
Do you ever have trouble with that because emotions get going or flying? Go ahead. We'll pause there.
We'll just turn it off.
Turn it off. There you go. With the referees in the ring, do you ever, like, emotions are flying there, Michael?
Yeah.
Especially you could be in the third round and you're trying to come back or something.
Yeah.
And a referee, do you get emotional towards a referee sometimes?
It can happen. Yeah. If they're calling stuff against you and you're so amped up, right? Like you said. So you could say something or something, but you get in trouble for it. But it's happened. It's happened.
Yeah.
It has happened. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, you're a young fella.
Yeah.
Your dad would probably agree. I know we talked about it. When you're 18, your emotions are different than when you're, 25
Yeah.
or 30,
Yeah.
and you're still growing as a young man.
Yep. No, they flared on me a couple times. Well, I've had a couple decisions that should have went my way that didn't, and emotions flared a little bit. But I always make sure I stay composed, respectful. But
Probably every fighter could say that should have been mine.
yeah, every fighter does say it. When it goes to decision, you're like, I won that, right?
Yeah. I never understood the whole I think when I talked to your dad, I said the same. I never understood the whole wanting to get in the ring and I'm gonna get hit.
Yeah.
No matter how good I am, I'm gonna take some hits.
Yeah, it takes a special kind of person.
Well, but what is it for you that I want to go in there and I could get beat up?
I love the sport. I don't even, it's hard to explain, even just the training every day.
Yeah.
It's an everyday regimen. I
Right.
go to the gym for an hour and a half, got to go running, all that stuff. So I love the whole lifestyle that it brings. So
Yeah.
if I get punched in the face, I'll take it, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I hope we're friends because I don't want any of that.
No, we're friends, Dave. We're
So,
friends.
Bring this. We've got these belts and stuff in here, Michael. Let's show you off a little bit because this is certainly impressive. Look at that. These are heavy too. Right?
I know that one's
That's the Quebec medal.
Quebec. This is from the gala in Sarnia, the one
Right.
that you were just at.
Yeah. Look at those. Hey, those are cool.
So this one's provincial.
This is the provincial one.
Yep, provincial gold.
Golden Gloves champ right there.
Yep.
That's awesome.
That's bronze at nationals from Calgary.
Right.
And Quebec gold there.
Right.
So,
Yeah. We want to see these ones though. These
yeah,
are
these
Fighting Island Boxing Club.
that is down in Amherstburg. So I went to a show down there and took that home with me.
Right on.
And then this is the
one
This
you
is
just
the
got
best one
realtors
right
in
here.
the ring. It's going to take both of us to hold that. Look at that. That's beautiful.
yeah.
And there was a lot of smiling going on that day. What now? You've won the fight. We'll talk realtor in the ring.
Yeah.
Main event win. What do you do after?
You go celebrate. Go out with your friends, you have some fun, and then take a couple days off.
Yeah.
Relax, and then you're right back to it.
Yeah.
But you got to take a little bit off because if you don't, then you can get sick of it, right?
Mentally and
So
physically.
it weighs on you.
Right.
So, but yeah, that's what I do after a fight. I'll take 3 or 4 days off and then right back to
Do
it.
you come down after you've just won the fight, or are you still hyped up that I got the
Oh
win?
well, but after this, I won this. I didn't get to sleep till 5 a.m.
Is that right?
Just rolling around. I couldn't go to bed.
Yeah.
So just too much adrenaline, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a crazy feeling.
The feeling of victory is always great for any of us, but as a boxer, I it's really a unique. It's than any other sport, like hockey and baseball, all the big sports. This is really a unique sport in its own as far as the experience goes. I would think, especially for a young man.
Well, it's you're on your own. You don't got any teammates, so that's why when you win, you're so excited, right? You did it all on your own.
Yeah.
Only your coaches help and stuff like that.
But in that ring,
that's you by yourself. Yeah.
I always wondered if I could be a fly when in between rounds to hear what the coaches are saying.
Yeah, they just let you know what the round was like before, if you won it or not. Some coaches don't tell you if you won the round or not, and just give you a little bit of advice. And just Tom's really good in the corner though. He calms you down and he has a little conversation with you, maybe cracks a joke or something. Just, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
Yeah. Keep your head up and keep your gloves up. And,
and
but there's a lot of power. Honestly, the fight that you had, I think a lot of times, you look at fighters and we saw some really big boys come in there and it's like, wow, here we go. But they're not very fast.
No, yeah.
Because the muscle's in the way too much. But when they hit,
you don't want to get hit by them.
And you see a lot of swinging going on, and when they miss, I remember sitting there thinking, ooh, man, he missed. But when he hits, when when it connects,
it's gonna
really
be
gonna happen.
it's gonna be bad. Yeah,
And
we
then-
have a heavyweight up at the gym.
Yeah, and you know, okay, so your arms aren't huge
Mhm.
like those guys,
Yep.
but you're in shape. You just keep going, like the
Yeah.
swinging and the speed, I guess.
Speed. Yeah, that's
is
what it
more
is.
there.
Yeah. Well, I fight at 156, so
Yeah.
I'm perfect weight for me. I walk around right at 160, so I only have to cut a little bit, and I feel strong every time I go in there.
Yeah, yeah. Where's family in all of this as well, besides dad? I mean, he's directly in
Yep.
there, like mom.
They're all supporting,
Yeah.
all supportive.
Does mom get nervous though? That's my little boy. In
Yeah,
there. That's the way
yeah,
mom
she
would
gets
look at
really,
it.
really nervous. Sometimes there's been a couple where she couldn't even watch, but
Yeah,
yeah, they're all supportive though. They've been through it before with my dad, so
yeah.
they know what to expect.
Here we go again.
Yeah,
Do they do-
exactly. Yeah, yeah. Here we go again.
Yeah. It's good to have that support, right? You know, and surrounding yourself outside of family. What about friends? Do you have buddies? And,
Yep.
And do you have a girlfriend or
No girlfriend right
no?
now.
Okay,
but,
that's okay.
Yeah.
Right. That's okay.
But yeah, my buddies. There's a couple of them that come up to the gym the odd time.
Yeah.
They like it too, and they support me 100%. They love it.
Yeah.
They love it.
In amidst all of this, you've got school,
I'm in a co-op.
right?
So I was in LCCVI.
Okay.
So I'm in my last semester, so I got a co-op with my dad.
Mm-hmm.
So I've
Oh,
been
perfect.
yeah, exactly. So I can go to work, go right to the boxing gym, go home. So
Yeah.
it works out perfect.
Yeah. So you're kind of figuring it out still, are
Mhm.
you? You know, like boxing's there. Obviously, that's the
100%.
forefront.
Yep.
And then maybe business with that or beyond that.
Yep. Well, we'll see. I'm gonna after high school, I graduate. I'm gonna take a year off,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'll see. Maybe I'll go back to school, or we'll figure it out from there. I'm gonna
Yeah.
take a year, focus on boxing, and work with my dad, and
Yeah.
maybe I'll go to school. I don't know.
Well, go for it.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's, I've always debated the plan B. I don't believe in plan Bs.
Mhm,
I
yeah.
say this is
I
plan
say,
A. That's
yep.
the way we go, right? And sometimes even when parents don't agree, sorry, mom and dad, but you got to do what's right for you because at the end of the day, it's going to be your mortgage and your
Mhm.
bills, right? Do you have those discussions with mom and dad, like on what are you going to do? And then it's like, well, I don't think you should do that. And it's like, well, this is what I got to do, though.
Yeah, they want me to do whatever I want to do.
Yeah.
That's what they told me. They said, whatever you want to do, support you, but
Yeah.
you got to be able to have a good job, and you know what I mean?
Take
Like
care of
a
yourself.
mom and dad would say, you got to
Right.
be able to take care of yourself.
Yeah,
But
because we're
whatever I
not
wanna
taking
do.
care of you
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah, exactly. Only for a little bit longer.
Right.
A little bit longer.
Right. When you're not boxing,
hmm
you got buddies. I mean, you're 18. You
Mhm.
got to have some fun. What are you doing other things? Are you?
I like to golf in the summer.
Oh yeah, are you any good at it?
I wouldn't say I'm good. but
Yeah.
I'm not terrible. I can play.
Can you beat Dad?
Yeah, I can beat him. I can beat him now. We played a couple years ago. I beat him, so
Yeah.
calling him out on here.
Right, for sure. And so golf, and then what about travel? Is that? I mean, I guess you do some traveling really with the boxing.
Yeah,
Right.
well, we've been to Calgary, Quebec now.
Mhm.
I make trips over to Detroit all the time for
Yeah.
sparring and training
Right.
at Kronk. I don't know if you ever heard of Kronk.
I have heard of it. I don't know much about it.
Kronk, Detroit. It's a really good gym down there. Lots of world champions came
Oh,
out of it.
wow.
So, other than that, my mom likes to go on cruises.
Oh yeah.
So I've been on a couple of those.
Those
in the
are
last,
fun.
Yeah, last couple of years, been on a couple of those. So, yeah, I like traveling.
Yeah.
Something I'd love to do.
Yeah.
Some far places that I like, Greece, Italy. Like I'd like to go to all those places, but it's a matter of when and
Right.
the money to go, right?
Right.
But hopefully, if I stick with this, maybe boxing will take me over there.
Yeah.
So
Well, let's talk about money. I mean,
Mhm.
you know, these kind of things aren't free to get to.
Mhm.
You know, you talk about Calgary and traveling, and because you were there, like this. Where does this all come from?
Fundraisers with the gyms.
Yeah.
So when I was in Chatham, we did fundraisers all the time, and with Blue Water, we
Right.
do fundraise. We're gonna go and help out down at the Border Fest.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna help there, and we just did this big fundraiser. All the funds went to the Children's Hospital, but We're going to do another one in August.
Yeah.
So all those funds from the show in August will be at the hangar again. Those funds will go to the gym.
Yeah.
That helps pay for all the fighters to go and
well, and
have
that's good, because that means you're putting some effort into it. It's not just somebody saying, writing a check, here you go, kind of thing. So you're earning your way.
Yep. With Boxing Ontario, when I won the provincials, I went to the training camp to go to Calgary. They wrote me a check for $500. So I got $500 from Boxing Ontario. They gave it to all their athletes.
Nice.
And it's just to help with travels, food, whatever you need when you go.
Yeah.
So that was really, really nice.
Yeah. Well, have you? Yeah, because money isn't everything, but it's up there with oxygen.
Yeah.
You kind of need it to make things happen.
Yeah, it makes the world go round. Right? You can't deny that.
Have you ever been to a pro fight like a Mike Tyson level?
I've never been to one that big.
No.
I want to. Eventually I will. Me and my dad were talking about it. Me and him go to the next big fight, but no, I haven't. I've been to smaller ones. I went to one in Hamilton. One of my buddies, Dylan Taylor, just turned pro.
Yeah.
So you know Dylan Taylor.
I do.
So he had over 100 amateur fights. So
it's amazing.
He just turned pro. He did 1-0 now, 1 knockout.
That's amazing. I think Dylan, we're coming for you.
Yep. He's moving back here to Sarnia for a little bit. So me and him are going to
you stay in touch with him then?
Yep. We'll be doing lots of training together up at the gym. So I'll be able to learn a lot from him.
Yeah.
A lot of experience.
Do you think down the road, because you're going to grow up and get older, you're going to get old like your dad?
Yeah.
Do you see coaching way down the road?
Way down the road? Yeah.
Something, keep your feet in it?
Yep. Some good fighters, though, are not good coaches.
Yeah.
And then there's a guy like, I guess you could say Freddie Roach. I don't know if you ever heard of him. Really, really good coach, but wasn't the best boxer.
Right.
But it's amazing coach.
Yeah.
So you never know.
Yeah.
But I would do it. I would. Yeah. I'll help out with the younger kids when they're having fights. I'll go in the corner and I'll help. So I could see it in my future for sure.
Sure.
Yep.
Is boxing a family sport in the sense of they're an extended family, I guess?
Yeah.
The people that you're around, like the club members.
Oh,
and
yeah.
all the other boxers.
I know when I walk up into the gym every night, I know everyone knows everyone.
Yeah.
It's like a little family up there.
Help each other out.
Yep. Yeah. We spar together. We run together. Do everything.
Yeah.
So.
What's your, I don't want to give any weaknesses away, but what would you say is something, a part of your fighting talent right now that you need to improve on? Because we've all got weaknesses, right?
Not, it's hard to explain, not waiting. So when you're in there, I kind of wait a lot for him to throw something.
Okay.
So it's called counterpunching.
All right.
Before I throw something, I need to start initiating a little more. So being the one to push the action. But other than that, we're starting to tighten everything up. It's looking good. Yeah.
There's so much going on from the foot placement to the foot movement to the how you bend your knees to the swing to the do I swing first or do I let them bring it, or like
it's a game of inches.
Yeah.
You see punches go by people's face that close.
Yeah.
And they're just getting out of the way of it. So it's a lot that goes into it, but practice makes perfect, just like anything else, right?
Right.
It's all muscle memory.
Is it?
Yeah, a lot of muscle memory.
Yeah. And what about knowing your opponent? Do you study? Do you try to find videos on
If I
them?
can.
Yeah.
If I can.
Is that hard to find sometimes?
Sometimes, yeah. When the amateurs, sometimes they don't, and people are smart too, don't put anything online. A lot of people don't like to put stuff online.
Yeah.
But if I can find something, I'll watch it and I'll study. And I'll make sure I find weaknesses and openings and stuff like that.
Yeah. And then the conversations with the coaches, again, back to they're observing, but they probably see things in a different light than you do, perhaps.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Different perspective.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. They're always giving me advice and insight. So they'll watch. If I have a video, I'll show it to Tom or my dad, and they'll watch it, and then they'll come in the gym, hold pads for me, and show the different stuff that they've seen, the openings and what I need to do. So we always have a game plan when we go in.
Yeah.
So if we're going to try to stop the guy, if we're going to try to box him to a decision, we always have a game plan.
Right. When you're sparring with your dad,
Yep.
do you remember the first, like, I don't know, I'm not a boxer, so
Yeah.
this is probably, but do you know where I'm going? Like, this is my dad I'm about to hit.
Well,
Did you ever kind of like?
me and him have never actually sparred
Oh, okay.
head on head. He don't want to. He's scared of me, I guess. No. But he'll hold the pads for me, and
Right.
he'll wear the body pad.
Oh, okay.
So I can do that. I can
Yeah.
hit him in the pad and
Yeah,
not
okay.
feel bad about it. I don't think I could punch him in the face.
Right.
I don't think I could do it. No.
Right.
No. No, I don't think I could. There's
Father
some
versus son match?
Yeah, there's some father and son duos that do it though.
Is
And
that right?
I don't know how they do it, but
Yeah, that'd be
not
tough.
my thing. No.
Yeah.
I'll train with him and be his friend, but I don't know if I want to get hit by him either.
Right. Right. Yeah. What there's just so much going on that you don't really, like, when you make a decision
Yeah.
in the ring,
Yeah.
it's made and you have to execute,
Oh,
because
it's split
there's
second.
really no time to change your mind.
No. It's
Does that put you in a bad? I guess that would put you in a bad position if you're like, well, I'm going to go right, but then I
Yeah.
should have went left, or like,
no. It can. That's how people get caught, right?
right.
Doing the wrong thing. So you just got to be careful about not making mistakes and putting yourself in a position where you're open to getting hit with a big shot. But it's all, there's a little bit of thinking that goes into it, but not a lot. You can't think too much. If you think too much, then boom, you're getting hit.
Really?
Yeah. So there's a little bit of thinking that goes into it. You got to, obviously, but you just stick to the game plan, what you know, and you just do it. Yeah.
Do you ever like, you know how you say, well, I'm having a bad day, like pool players that I know will go, man, no matter what I do, I just can't hit that ball right. It's the same thing in boxing. It's like, I know what I should be doing,
Yep.
but I can't execute
Bad
it.
day in the office.
Right?
100%. Happens. It happens. It happens.
How do you get through that? Especially when you're in the middle, you know, I'm not even talking about practicing.
You just get, I had a fight in Niagara Falls, and it was one of those days. I lost it. I lost the fight, but I was not on my game at all. I could tell as soon as I stepped in there, the bell rang, and I walked forward to him. I was like, I could feel it. Yeah. But I didn't complain. Didn't say nothing. I just took it and carried on. But when you have a bad day and other guys having a good day, not much you can do about it.
Yeah.
Not much you can do.
And then there's, you know, one of my mentors said, I mean, do you always like going to the gym?
No.
No, right?
There's days where I'm home after work. I'll have a lay down on the couch or something, and I'm like, I don't want to go.
Right.
I get up and I go. I go. You got to go. So if I want to fight, if I miss days, my dad or Tom will pull me out of the fight.
Yeah.
Because if you're not training and putting the work in, then I'm not going to put you in there to go to battle, right? When you're not prepared.
And you have to self-motivate sometimes, right? You know, I know we're always looking for that.
It's a lot of
motivational
discipline.
Speaker or whatever.
Yeah. A lot of discipline, because like I said, there's days where last thing I want to do is go up there and kill myself in the gym, but I do it. Yeah.
Yeah. There's one of my mentors taught me, and it really can apply to anything, is champions find a way to motivate themselves, not waiting for somebody. But champions, even when they don't want to do it, champions create habits. And even when they don't want to do it, champions do it anyway.
Yeah, it's a habit. Yeah.
Right.
Every night it's 5 o'clock at the gym.
Yeah.
So it's a habit every day. So it's always 5 o'clock. So it works out perfect.
Yeah.
Same thing every day.
Yeah. And then you get upset with yourself if you fell through and like didn't go when you knew you were supposed to. Later, then you go, oh,
yeah, you feel bad about it.
I know I should have done that, but I didn't.
You do feel bad about it. Yeah. You get that guilt.
Yeah.
Not going. But sometimes you do need time off, though. Sometimes you do. But leave it till after the fight.
Right. Well, what about that? What about, let's talk mental health here for a moment, because I mean, that's a common conversation, and we often hear about self-care, recognizing our own need to, I mean, there's always that, like, okay, I don't feel like doing it.
Yeah.
That's not mental health day to me. That's just like,
being
laziness.
Lazy. Yeah, being lazy.
But there are those days, though, self-care. Do you have to recognize in yourself when?
Yeah, I do.
I really need this mental break.
Yep. Took weeks off, like just take a week off, 7 days,
Yeah.
and just no boxing, no running, no nothing. You need it sometimes because you get after when I won the Brampton Cup the first time, I fought 3 times in 3 days. So every day I've fought. So after that I took.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a beating.
Yeah. It was. So I took a good while off after that. I needed it. So I was going to go right back to the gym, but I talked to my dad. I was like, he said, take some time off. You got to. You have to.
Yeah. 3 fights.
In 3 days. Yeah.
In 3 days.
3 wins. I just did.
I'm already sore just hearing about it.
Yeah, the second, after the first.
That's a lot on a body. Never mind the mental aspect.
Yeah. No, when we drove home after, I didn't move an inch in that car seat. I just kind of sat there. No, I didn't. I didn't take a lot of damage, but just my body. You know what I mean? From all that activity, it really takes a toll on you. 3 fights in 3. That's the most you can do, though.
That's all you're allowed.
Yeah.
Talk about that process. Like you have to qualify. Physically and
every day. It's the day of. When you're pro, it's the day before weigh-ins. So it's the day of. You got to make weight. You go to see a doctor. They take your blood pressure, check out everything, your eyes, your hands, everything, and either clear you to fight, or some guys don't get cleared to fight.
Right.
So
has that ever happened to you?
Never happened to me. No.
Well, that's good.
Not yet.
And then they check you when you come out of the ring after a fight. Was that what I saw there? Was that a doctor? He's checking to make sure you're.
Yep, make sure you're not got no concussion or anything like that. Yeah. One of our guys, I think it was Stevie. Yeah, he has a concussion, so just a mild one. But he's taking time off. He'll be fine. He'll be back in the gym.
Yeah.
But it does happen, and he won his fight, so it can happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just getting hit But never, I haven't, I had a concussion when I played hockey. Okay. No concussion boxing though. Not yet.
Interesting.
So exactly. I'm like, nothing.
Right. Do you still slap the puck around a little bit, like for fun? Or like you play in a league? You don't have time for a league.
No time for a league, but like in the wintertime, last winter, we went down. One of my buddies has a big pond. Yeah. We cleared it off, put 2 nets, and we were down there every night. So.
Right on.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yep.
What's next for Michael White? And do you have a nickname, don't you?
I've had a couple. Yeah. Michael the Great White, or Mike Shut Up and Fight White, and a whole bunch of different ones, but none of them have stuck yet. So we'll see which one. Tim Taylor gave my dad the hammer and it stuck. So we'll see.
And he didn't want a name.
No,
he was
didn't.
Like, I don't need it. No, it stuck. He didn't have a choice.
I'm the same way too, but I know it's going to happen eventually.
Michael White's good.
Yeah, it's good for me.
You just won this, and now you've got. What's next for Michael White?
Next is July 26th, Brantford, an outdoor show.
Okay. Oh, nice.
So I'm not sure who the opponent is yet, but hopefully the national champion. So
really,
Who's tried. That? His name's Jackson.
Okay.
So he's from Welland. Good fighter, but I think I can beat him. So we tried to get him in Sarnia. It didn't happen, and we're gonna do it in Brantford, I think.
Yeah.
So.
Wow, when did you say this? July
26th.
Okay. All right. Let me know.
Yeah, I will.
Because
it's a really nice show.
A nice road trip.
Yeah, really nice show too. Outside, ring set up.
Yeah.
A nice venue. So I will. I'll let you know for sure.
Talk about the fans. Like we've talked a lot about inside the ring and the coaching and all that, but you obviously want, you go in the ring, I'm here to win, or I wouldn't be here. Yeah. But there's the show aspect or the entertainment side of that. How do you play that into it all without sacrificing the win? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, there's been a couple times where I had a fight. I can't remember where it was, but I got in a clinch with them, and I seen the whole fan sitting there watching me, and I just made a little face at them. But we were in a clinch, so it wasn't didn't put me in any danger.
Just a quick smiley.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
So get them going. Or the last fight at the gala when they were calling the decision. I kind of amped him
Yeah,
up
you
like
did.
this a
You
little
did. You
bit. So little stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I don't like showboating in the middle of a fight.
Right.
I don't.
Well,
You got to protect yourself at all times, as they say, right?
yeah.
So
That's when. Oh, didn't see that coming.
yeah, that's when something like that happens, and then you're like, oh, I'm on the ground. What happened
Yeah.
there?
But it's important to you to give the. I mean, you know, I'm not downplaying what it is.
Yeah.
I'm just saying there is a show.
Well, they're there
There's
to
an entertainment aspect to it, right?
They're
That's
there
why
to
we
watch a
bought
show.
ticket. Yeah. And you could probably feel like obviously when you're hometown boy, that's okay. The fans are there. You get the cheers. But when you're away and there's only maybe 8 people in that crowd, and you know half of them are mom and dad and the coach.
Yeah.
And they're cheering. It's like the hockey,
When
it's home team and away team.
Yeah.
Like, how do you get through that with I can't hear any cheering for me out there.
Yeah. No, I actually don't mind it. It kind of motivates me a little bit.
Yeah.
I've had it where it was just my mom, my grandma, and brother in the crowd.
Yeah.
And I heard them a little tiny bit, and then they announced the other guy, and it went crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm just it doesn't bother me when you're in that ring. Once you step through the ropes, it's a crazy feeling. You're just locked in, and like when the fight's going on, you can only hear certain people.
Right.
Like they come in and out. Like you don't hear everyone. Certain
Yeah.
people, you hear exactly what they're saying, and usually that's Tom or my dad or whoever's in my corner.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Do you have outside of Dad or Tom or whoever? Do you have a boxer at whatever level that you I guess say look up to or been influenced by?
Been influenced by. Mike Tyson was a lot because that's my dad. Like posters in my house, all Mike Tyson. That was my dad's one of my dad's favorites. So when I was really young, that's who I watched a lot. Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
And even when I'm training, motivational videos, Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
He's coming back to fight, eh? Jake Paul.
I did hear that. Yeah. And he's really turned his life around. Like from a time where he was super young. Winning,
he was super young with a lot of money.
With a ton of money.
And he went crazy.
Yeah.
But I guess that's what happens, right? He was young with no guidance and had tons of money. But what a fighter he was. We can say that.
Yeah.
I bet you remember watching it over in 20 seconds.
I remember watching him, and I wasn't, again, I'm not like, I was at a bar somewhere. It was on. Oh, there's a fight tonight. Okay. But I do remember early stages of going, it's Mike Tyson. You got to watch. It didn't matter if you liked boxing.
No, it's Mike Tyson.
He had a persona about him. And then, he kind of took a bit of a kicking when he bit off the guy's ear. But I mean, he's a really, boy, if there's a guy I would love to interview, honestly.
Mike Tyson,
because he's changed.
Turned his life around big time.
Big time. He's an example to you, then, not just as a fighter, but as a person.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like how he was when he was younger. He was really ferocious. Like, you know what I mean? Like he didn't show no one respect when he was fighting them.
Yeah.
Some things he said that I don't agree with at all.
Sure.
But I just like the way he carried himself when he was a fighter.
Yeah.
Mean and gritty and
ready to go.
Yeah.
It's interesting you say Mike Tyson, because I think a lot of people, no matter what age, would say Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, Muhammad Ali is a good one too.
Right.
Yeah, Muhammad Ali.
Is it because I guess Mike's closer to?
Yeah, and just like I said, when I was younger, Mike Tyson. Like my dad went and seen him fight. I forget where it was when he was younger. And I remember them leaving. Yeah. I remember them leaving to go watch him, and they brought back posters and all sorts of stuff. So.
When's Tyson fighting again? Do you know? Or?
June 5th or June.
Oh,
June something. It's coming up soon. He's fighting Jake Paul. So I think it's just going to be a show. I think it might be a script, but I don't know. He's 60 years old. I guess he can do it still. I don't. I think age. I think age is just a number. In his 20s.
Yeah.
In his 20s.
So that's weird.
Yeah.
That's like the whole
it is
Rocky
Mike Tyson,
thing, right?
Yeah.
From like, come on, old man, come on back and fight me.
Yeah. So I don't agree with it, but I'll be watching it. So
you don't agree
with
it? You don't agree that they're doing it?
No, I don't agree with Mike Tyson fighting again.
Yeah.
I don't agree. Like, he's 60. I don't think he should. He had a really good career.
Yeah.
And I don't think he should risk getting hurt by a young guy, even if he's not a boxer. he's still going to be in there throwing punches at you. So.
I don't know. I don't think I'd want to get in front of Mike Tyson
No,
for anything.
no.
If he said move, I'd be like, here you go.
Yeah.
But I'm not a fighter by any means, right?
No. Big age gap though. That's
Yeah, I hear you.
So.
I hear you. I didn't realize that. Okay, well, I'll have to try to tune that in somewhere.
Yeah.
What other battles have you had outside of the ring?
Not too many.
Yeah.
I haven't. Not a lot.
Yeah.
My life's pretty boring, I guess you could say. Besides boxing,
Give it time.
Go to school. Yeah, go to school and go to work and hang out with friends. That's.
I know it's pretty young, and we're not making you commit to anything, Michael. But is having your own family something in your future that you want to?
Yeah,
accomplish?
that'll be in my future. Yeah.
And do you ride a motorcycle too? Like
no, I want to.
You don't have the license?
Not yet.
No,
I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it first, and then I'll convince my dad to let me drive his.
Convince dad. There you go. We've put it out there. If you get the license and he doesn't let you, you can borrow mine.
Sounds good.
To do that. Right?
Sounds good.
I think obviously this is the first time we've really had a conversation. I've known you through your dad and stuff, but you're a really intelligent young man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You've got a lot of philosophies, and we'll give credit to mom and dad and coaches for some of that. But at the end of the day, you're the one that makes the decisions, right? And to know what you want.
Yep.
At a young age of 18.
Not a lot of people do.
No, some people.
My age,
I know people my age are still trying to figure it out, right?
Yeah.
Like that's waves ahead of most people, and that's going to put you in some great places.
Yep.
If you can stay on track, here I'm kicking into dad mode a little bit here myself too. But are you aware that that's who you are? That you're ahead of most because you've made a decision to be all in. You have to be all in.
Yeah. I know there is a lot of kids that don't know what they're doing right now. But yeah, I'm lucky enough. I found a sport that I fell in love with, right? So I'm going to stick with it. And with boxing, teaches you a lot, keeps you out of trouble. And yeah, it's just boxing. I think boxing or combat sports in general are the best sport for your well-being, your mental, all that stuff. Like you're all in. You can't cut any corners.
Right.
With a team sport, you can cut some corners a little bit.
I suppose, yeah.
So, but no cutting corners when you'll pay for it when you get in the ring.
Are you a UFC fan as well? Is that?
Yeah, I like it. I'll watch it. Me and my friends watch all the fights. Yeah. It's fun to watch. Right. I wouldn't do it, but it's fun to watch.
It's a different animal for sure. But,
yeah.
I don't know if you've ever thought of this as an option, but do you understand too, Michael, the importance of you are an example to younger children that are even not thinking of being in the sport. They're just a fan of the sport and they want to overcome personal battles, which that's kind of why I asked the question,
Well, I help out a lot of the younger kids up at the gym. So they're up there training, and I'll give them pointers and stuff. And we have a couple young fighters too.
Right.
So if they're having a fight and I'm at the venue, I'll hop in the corner and help Tom out.
Yeah.
And I do. I like giving back to the young guys. Yeah.
I could see you going to schools or something and talking.
Yeah. And eventually, you never know what's going to be in my future.
Yeah.
Once I turn pro and get a title under my belt, maybe that'll be something I do, travel around.
Yeah, I like how you just said that. When I do turn pro, once I turn pro, not if I turn pro.
No, it's happening.
That's
happening.
Great. Is there a time frame? I mean, obviously you can't predict that exactly, but
I've had
kind of a time frame. Yeah,
I've had 20 fights now.
Yeah.
So I'd like to have 50.
Okay.
I'd like to have 15 before I turn pro, just so I have all the experience. Like you want to see all the different styles.
Yeah.
I'd like to go to different countries and fight. I've only ever fought in Canada. So I'd like to go to the States and have a couple fights and different places.
What other countries would you like to go to? Well, you mentioned like Greece and
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of different.
Switzerland, or
There's, I'd tell you where if I would have won nationals, I would have been going to the World Championships, but I can't remember the country that was in.
right?
If I did, I'd tell you, but
Yeah, okay.
I can't remember what it was. It was a cool one though.
Yeah. So how many fight? Is there a minimum amount of fights that you must have to be pro?
You could have 0 amateur fights and turn pro.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
but you're not going to do. You're going to
No.
be on you're going to be on your own,
Right.
so you're not going to be getting paid very much. You'll maybe go and fight at a little venue for $500 or
Right,
something. But
yeah.
having the experience and the titles and amateur
Sure.
and stuff, that's when you get signed to a big company and
Yeah.
they carry you along, right?
Yeah. Big decision to make too.
Yep.
At what point do I shift gears?
Mm-hmm.
Because
I'll leave that up to my dad though. I'm
yeah.
lucky to have him.
Yeah.
He's been through it before,
Right.
so he'll tell me when it's time to go, and we'll get it done.
Yeah. Yeah. How often would, like, when you let's talk about you and Dad again? We sort of briefly did, but like
Yeah,
when you guys don't agree
yeah,
on a path,
uh-huh.
how do you play through that too? Because you got to make a decision sooner or later. Do you sometimes
We've been pretty good in that aspect
Yeah.
of like what we're gonna do. We're kind of on the same page. He told me 50 fights. We'll
Okay.
look for who we're gonna go with, a promoter or a company or whatever, and we'll go from there. But so we've been pretty good in that aspect. But there's been times in the gym where stuff happens. He tells me I'm doing something wrong. I don't think I'm doing it wrong,
right?
but I gotta listen to him, right? He knows best.
There's a saying that goes, maybe your dad will steal this if he doesn't already know it. You must be willing, coachable, and hungry.
Yep.
There's often the willing is there,
Mm-hmm.
and then the hungry is there.
It's the coachable.
Notice it's the middle finger.
Yep. Yep.
And you've got to be coachable, even when you're like, I don't understand how this is going to work or why, but you're the coach of the experience. That's hard to do sometimes, though, isn't it?
Yep. Well, there's been times too where I'll come back to the corner and I lost the round
Right.
before, and he'll get upset with me, but he's just doing it to fuel me a little bit.
Fire in there.
He let you know you need to go out and win this next round to win the fight, and it works. Because when I know that I need to do it, then you turn on the jets, right?
Right.
So
Awesome.
Yep.
I'm excited for you,
Yeah.
and I'm excited to have finally met you.
Yep.
And I know, please stay in touch. And if
I
you
will.
don't, I'm sure Dad will
Yeah, we
keep me
will for
posted
sure.
on what you're doing, and maybe I can get out to
Brantford.
in July.
I will let you know when that is, and we'll get you a ticket.
Awesome.
All right.
Already a champion.
Yep.
Going on to bigger champion victories here. Michael White,
Thank you.
so
Thanks,
much
Dave.
for your time.
Appreciate it.
And we'll get another shot of this. I know I'm going to maybe wear this just to pretend like I got that.
There
Anyway,
you
thanks so much for watching, everybody.
Thank you.
Frank, thanks for giving up some time off work to come here and do this.
Yep.
I do want to give a shout out to the ISO, the International Symphony Orchestra Bar here in downtown, where they've allowed us the space to have this. But as always, click the like and the love, of course, but
Yep.
click the share, the most important button, so we can share Michael's stories and everybody else's. But as always, that's all the time I got for you this week. Have a great week and an even better weekend. We will see you next time right here on the show. Bye for now. That's it.